U.S. President Barack Obama returned to Washington after a 2-week family vacation in Hawaii. The president is getting back to work this week by taking a tour of Michigan, Arizona, and Tennessee to unveil his 2015 policy initiatives. His 3-state tour kicks off on Wednesday. While traveling, the president will present new initiatives on housing, college affordability, and job creation. The White House said those policy areas will be major themes of the president's annual State of the Union address, which is scheduled for January 20th. Meanwhile, the new Republican majority in Congress has set its own agenda, which could conflict with President Obama's priorities. At the same time, GOP leaders are trying to keep the party united. Conservatives in the House and Senate want to confront the president on key issues, and there is sure to be a showdown to come. Well, Cindy Saine is Voice of America's congressional correspondent, and she is joining us from Washington, D.C. Hi, Cindy. Welcome to Arise America. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to you.
I think we're in for a bumpy ride. We might all need to fasten our seatbelts. But let's talk about, first of all, what the GOP might be set on doing first that will run into some resistance from the White House.
Right. We are getting some early indications that it looks like it's going to be dealing with energy and the environment, and that Republicans are likely to vote as early as this week on the controversial Keystone oil pipeline coming down from Canada, which a lot of Democrats have been very strongly against. And Republicans are likely to vote on a lot of things that the president is not going to like. A lot of them concerning energy, coal mining deregulation, and deregulation in general of the financial industry, some things that go against core democratic principles.
Yeah, and to that point, Cindy, the Congress, as I understand it, this GOP-dominated Congress is going to move pretty quickly, as you said, on the environmental rules and initiatives that President Obama has put in place. Talk to me a little bit about the global ramifications of this move on their part.
Well, yes, that's right. And, most other nations have ratified the Kyoto Treaty and are waiting for the United States to do more, and have already been a bit frustrated. And I think, like you said, we should buckle our seatbelts for an even bumpier ride as far as any kind of international agreements on regulating carbon dioxide emissions and that sort of thing.
And pivoting over to the Keystone XL pipeline, I think we can feel sure that they're going to send a bill to the president very quickly. The president so far has not indicated whether or not he will sign it. From your sources and the people you've been talking to inside the Beltway, how likely is it that he will sign this as a good faith show for other things that he might want to do down the road?
Well, the president is really stuck between a rock and a hard place on this one, and was able, as long as Democrats were holding on to the Senate, Harry Reid protected the president from having to deal with a lot of these things because the Senate just never took them up. And the president asked the State Department to do a study on this and has sort of been biding his time. And I'm hearing that people really do not know, perhaps the president himself doesn't even know for sure how he's going to go, which way he's going to go on this one. Perhaps maybe taking his tone from the tone of Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, the incoming Majority Leader. Is McConnell going to really go on an austere course, budget cuts, and just, very sort of catering more to the extreme parts of his own party, or is McConnell going to show more of a willingness to work with the president? Yeah,
that indeed is the question, and there was some strong language that Mitch McConnell used just after the midterm elections, as well as his counterpart in the House, Speaker of the House, John Boehner. But going back to Mitch McConnell, do you think that he will be able to effectively lead a united GOP bloc in the Senate? Will he be able to wrangle all the cats, if you will? And I'm thinking specifically of Senator Ted Cruz, who has been a bit of a renegade and even rogue.
Yes, you're right. And that would be quite a thing to wrangle him, as you well note. And as I'm sure you are well aware, we've got the 2016 presidential race starting to kick up. And Senator Cruz has indicated or shown some interest to be a candidate. So I'm sure he is going to be looking to even sharpen his profile more to take on more battles with the president. So I think that Senator McConnell is going to have a very tough time. And then he's also got the senator from Kentucky, Rand Paul, who is a bit more of a libertarian, who may also be seeking to, get his face more into the limelight. So I think, with this presidential race coming up, and we don't really have a declared front runner yet, either on the Democratic or the Republican side, although people think on the Democratic side that if Hillary Clinton wants it, it will be hers. But since we don't have a leader on the Republican side, you may get a lot of sort of prominent candidates trying to draw attention to themselves.
Very quickly before I have to let you go, both sides, when I say both sides, I mean the Republicans on Capitol Hill as well as President Obama have said after the midterm elections they wanted to find, quote unquote, common ground where they can work together. What is that common ground?
I think maybe we'll see that some on the international arena, for trade agreements with Asia, corporate taxes, perhaps finally a military authorization for what's already been going on against the Islamic State.
All right, we'll leave it right there for now. Cindy Saine, so good to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you're watching Arise America.